Hi guys, welcome back to another episode of Room Number... No thank you. What is my cat doing? Well, last time we, there was a hungry little girl in the next room, and so we had to put her dirty, emaciated body in our bed. And we called the cops so they could take care of her, or the ambulance or somebody. And I think that was pretty much it, really. And then we got a cat, and then we proceeded to spew its fluids on everyone in Sakano. I rang the doorbell to Pop's apartment. I heard the lock turning from inside after a moment. I went through the door and into the room.
お邪魔しまーす。
おう。
Pops was holding the kitten.
かわいいな
ん？ああ、こいつか。
ゾンビを抱いてるおっさんがかわいい。
お前はそういうことばっかり言うな。ほら。
Is your masculinity too fragile to hear that you're cute? He handed Zombie over kind of carelessly.
この通り風邪はひいてるが、それ以外の健康状態に特に問題はないそうだ。
おっさん、病院行ってくれたの？
まあな。
He said it like it was no big deal and sat down on the couch. I sat down on the floor holding Zombie. I scratched under his chin and Zombie purred happily. He definitely had a cold, but he seemed fine otherwise.
生後1ヶ月ぐらいで、目は目薬をさして薬を飲ませれば治る程度だそうだ。本当に飼うつもりなら体調が良くなったら予防注射に行け。
はーい。
本気で飼うつもりか。
いい？
俺は構わないけどな。
やったー！
I cheered, holding Zombie, and Pop smiled.
大家には俺から言っておく。
よろしくお願いします。
I put the kid in the cardboard box and Pops gave me medicine and food.
それと、これも持っていけ。
He gave me a food bowl and a little litter box. This sure is a lot of stuff.
買ったの？
おう。
おいくら？病院代とかこういうの全部で。
今回はサービスしてやる。
そうなの？
次からはちゃんと自分で払え。
ふーん。
Pop smiled. He's so sweet, but that's what I like about him.
ありがとうございます。
I thanked him with a smile on my face. I was about to leave him with the cat when I paused.
俺にチューしようか。
Oh god.
さっさと帰れ。
Pop smiled at my antics and shooed me out of the room. I'm still not over his big RE tendencies that we saw in the hero scene. When I got back to my apartment, I put the food and medicine in my fridge and found a spot to set up the food bowl and litter box. I read the instructions for the eye drops and picked up Zombie. Zombie struggled a bit, but I tried to persuade him.
我慢しろ。男だろ。男だよね。
I said, picking up Zombie to check. Yeah, he's a boy, I think. He's so small, it's hard to tell, but he's probably male. My intuition can't be wrong. Anyway, you just have to deal with it. Zombie resisted because he wasn't happy about it, but I gave him the eye drops somehow. Then I fed Zombie and we went to bed together. He's just a kitten, so he's already sleepy. Cats are so cute. Good night. A few days later.
仕事行ってくるからな。
Zombie's eyes had gotten a lot better. I waved to him and headed to the door. I left the air on since the windows would be closed all day. Up until now, I'd been getting up early, taking a shower, and leaving pretty quickly. But lately, I've been taking care of Zombie, so I usually don't get on my way until the last minute. I wonder if this is what it feels like to have a kid. It's kind of fun. I closed the door and locked it.
Oh?
There was a figure crouched down in front of the neighbor's apartment. It was that little girl, the one from next door. Ew! Gross! Her complexion looked a little better, but she was still really thin. She was wearing the same clothes she had on last time, too. They were pretty faded, but they looked cleaner than they were last time I saw them. Maybe they were laundered.
どうしたの？
I tried speaking to her, but she fidgeted and didn't answer. I tried turning the doorknob to the neighboring apartment, but it wouldn't open. I guess we can't get in. I guess I could just leave her here. But I can't exactly just leave her in my room. She's not a cat. I did get yelled at for bringing her in last time too. I have to be at work soon. What should I do? Can we just bring her to work? Let's go. Oh god. He would. Oh god. So I ended up bringing her to the bar. Oh my god.
名前はゆふみちゃんです。
On our way here, all I could get out of her was her name. As far as I'm concerned, I think I'll call her Squirt. She's so gross. Whoa, he's mad.
とりあえずオーナーに報告しよう。
She's got that like 80-year-old face.
ということで連れてきました。
I finished explaining why I brought Squirt with me. Even Pops and Maki-chan, who were in the office and kitchen respectively, came out. Renren appears to be off today. Ryu crossed his arms and frowned. He's mad.
何やってんの？
Hiroshi's mad too.
あのな、お前は知らないかもだけど、最近の世間事情はかなり世知が荒いの。親に訴えられたらめんどくさいことになるぞ。迷子かと思って善意で連れ歩いて最終的に交番に行ったら逮捕されたとかな。
でも俺大家とか知らないし、あそこに置いておくわけにもいかないじゃん。
It's still so hot out.
お母さんももうずっと帰ってきてないんじゃない？
Squirt looked dejected. Looks like she really hasn't been home in a while.
そういう時は通報しろ。
どうやるの？
The two of them looked completely baffled by my question.
119番だけじゃなくて110番も。記憶喪失ってそういうことは忘れないんじゃないのか？
Dunno, beats me.
ああ、110番。聞いたことある。じゃあ、
いや、かけるな。かえって面倒な事態になる。
かけないの？
ここに警察に来られて、事情聴取やらで店員が引っ張られたり、居座られて回転が伸びたりすると面倒だからな。
じゃあどうするの？
Ryu turned to Pops.
オーナー、交番に連れて行ってもらえますか？
そうだな。
おっさんはいいの？逮捕されない？
まあ一応な。なんとかするさ。
そっか。
Hiroshi had been quiet for a while when he awkwardly joined in.
この子の母親探してやっちゃダメですか？
It sounded like he knew they'd say it was a bad idea, but that he just had to ask anyway.
ダメだ。
やめておけ。
Pops and Ryu answered just as Hiroshi had expected.
こんな状態にする母親を連れ戻しても。
乾さん、
Ryu delicately interrupted Pops.
奥で話した方が。
Ryu's eyes were on Squirt. Seems like he stopped Pops because he was speaking ill of her mother in front of her. On the outside, Ryu seems cold as ice, but I guess he can be sensitive and caring.
ああ。ひろゆき、事務所で話そう。
Pops had noticed too and started walking into the back with Hiroshi. Ryu seemed to be staying here. Magi-chan was gone again before I'd noticed. He doesn't care about that little hoe. What should I do? Go to the office with Hiroshi. I went after Pops and Hiroshi to the office. Ryu glanced at me but didn't really say anything. Bye, little hoe. Back in the office, Pops was scolding Hiroshi.
事前授業じゃないんだ。金はどうする？
俺が出します。貯金ならあります。
Pops frowned a little.
中途半端な同情心で後先考えずに動くな。
Hiroshi seemed a bit dejected after being scolded, but it didn't seem like he agreed.
だいたい春の話を聞いただろう。そんな状態にする母親を探し出してどうなる？いいか、お前が当たり前だと思っていることができない人間もいるんだ。警察や養護施設に任せておけ。
Hiroshi frowned at Pops. At what Pops had said. Is he going to back off? Oh, I guess
会
not.
ったこともない人のことは分かりません。
It was a bit weak, but he got his objection in. He had a serious look in his eyes. Oh, this is Hiroshi's personal resolve.
失礼します。
Hiroshi left the office. Pops let out a little sigh after he left, having guessed what Hiroshi had decided to do. After Pops was done talking, he came back to the bar and spoke to Squirt.
おじさんと行こうか。
Squirt gave everyone a quick bow and followed Pops. Pops casually took Squirt's hand. God, no one ever taught this little hoe to not trust strangers. He definitely wasn't babying her, but he hadn't forgotten that she was still a little kid either. Squirt left the bar with Pops. Hiroshi watched her leave with a strangely serious expression on his face. I could tell that he was intent on finding her mom. Just after 4 a.m., Hiroshi and I were at the bar cleaning and Ryu had already gone home. The door opened and Pops
ひ
appeared.
ろゆき、
はい。
Pops walked over and handed him something. Huh? It's a key.
乾さん、これ。
部屋の鍵をもらってきた。
What? Oh, does that mean Pops is helping Hiroshi find Squirt's mom?
大家と話してきた。大家も母親が帰ってきた方がいろいろと助かるそうだ。まあ、大家にしても細々とした手続きや荷物の処分が大変だからな。
Thought so. It's definitely better for Hiroshi to be formally dispatched instead of running off on his own. But dispatched by who? Who's taking care of the child during this time? Pop seems like a bleeding heart, but if you ask me, he's probably more of a realist. I guess he's a pretty rational person.
見つけたら謝礼をくれるそうだ。
ありがとうございます。
それから、これも渡しておく。
I peered at the documents Pops handed Hiroshi with him. It had the mother's name and something about a cosigner. The mother's name is Taiko Saito. The cosigner is the mother's mother. In other words, Squirt's grandma. But apparently she couldn't be contacted.
家賃が遅れがちだと大家に相談されて調べたことがあるが、借金があって新生会系のソープで働いてる。
Shinsei Syndicate Soap Lands? What?
一度新生会に掛け合ってみたことがあるが、相手にされなくてな。まあ、あっちも商売だし、あそこは東條がいるからな。そうえげつないことはやってないはずだ。金ももらってなかったから大したことはしなかったし、強くは言わなかった。大家との付き合いでとりあえず行ってみた程度だ。
Hiroshi nodded at Pop's explanation and then looked over the documents again.
母親が働いていた場所は。
西口のシルクだな。
Is it a brothel?
わかりました。ありがとうございます。
正規の依頼じゃないからあまり金にはならない。無理はするな。効率よくやれ。
はい。
Hiroshi was honestly grateful and happy. He was jumping for joy. You really are easy to read sometimes, Hiroshi. If you go on a different character's route, do you get the same cases or do you get different cases entirely? I don't know. We headed to Squirt's apartment after we left the bar. Pops had business elsewhere, so we parted ways in front of the bar.
俺も手伝うよ。
ありがとう。
なあ、でもあの部屋に入るなら軍手とかマスクとかあった方がいいよ。
そんなにひどいのか。
臭いし汚いし危ないから。のえってなるかも。
でも子供がいたんだろ。
Hiroshi didn't seem to quite believe me, but we went back to the bar to get masks and gloves just in case. So why do we have to clean all this little hoe? Hiroshi, you're making me clean this little hoe's apartment. You arrived at the apartment. We used the key Pops had given us to open the door. See, look at this gross little girl. Hiroshi went in first.
うわ。
When he came face to face with the filth, Hiroshi seemed to understand the need for gloves and masks.
よくこんなところで生活できるな。つうか子供がかわいそうだろ。
He mumbled as he put on his mask and gloves and got to work. He was angry and it was directed at the mother. Well, I don't think she's even capable of feeling pity for her kid. But I'm not going to mention it. Perhaps she's mad as is, but it seems like he figured that much out for himself already.
あの子、施設か病院から逃げ出して、この部屋の前にいたんだろ。
Hiroshi said, pushing through the cesspit of garbage.
あの子もうまく折り合いがついてないってことだろ。 今後一緒に暮らすかどうかはともかく、とにかく一度会った方がいいし。
Okay, so the little girl is back at wherever institution or orphanage, Hiroshi said? Alright. Fine.
行方不明のままよりは絶対いい。
そうかもね。
At any rate, we were searching the apartment.
あ
Hiroshi was startled when we moved a bag of garbage and a cockroach crawled out from under it, but he kept on working. Hiroshi seemed like he'd done this before. Disgusted as he was with how filthy the place was, he quickly collected the information we needed.
手紙があるな。母親宛てだ。それから公共料金の催促状。金融機関系が多いな。
とりあえずまとめて持ち出す。
そうだな。
I took the items that seemed like they might be useful from Hiroshi and put them into a fresh garbage bag.
通帳あったよ。
それも持っていこう。
わかった。
We also found what appears to be a photo of her. We actually dug up quite a lot of things. I moved the trash bag sitting in front of the closet and opened the door. There weren't many clothes inside. The trash in front of the room prevented it from opening, so the room had a mountain of dirty clothes in it. There was a cardboard box in the closet, and in the bottom of that were several volumes of notebooks that had been used as diaries. It was probably several years worth. I found a laptop too.
充電器は見つけた。でも携帯の本体はないな。
どこかに出かけたまま帰ってないって感じ？
ああ、通帳まで置いてあるんじゃ、少なくとも子供を置いて逃げ出したって雰囲気じゃないな。
Hiroshi looked at the pile of clothes in the corner of the room, instead of the closet, and muttered.
女の人なら服くらい持ってくだろう。
He skillfully dug through the pile of discarded garments.
これ、買ったまま袋に入ってるぞ。
Hiroshi pulled out new clothes out of a bag in the mountain of laundry.
ブランド物っぽいな。
Hiroshi mumbled
ク
softly.
ローゼットの中にもカバンがあったよ。
ああ、そっちに行く。
He peered into the closet and fished the bag out.
ブランドはよくわからないけど、俺だってこのマークのついたカバンが相当高いことはわかるぞ。
でもほとんど使ってないみたいだね。
金遣いは相当荒そうだな。買うだけ買って放置とか。母親の服ばっかだな。
子供服ないね。
ああ。
Hiroshi went over to the futon. I'd found a squirt sleeping on it and flipped over. It was thin and stained with sweat. There were hardly any children's items in the room at all. Not even a change of clothes. I see a little monkey. A little bear. Oops. See a little monkey, a little bear on here, on this TV stand. That's all a little girl needs. Just trash, brandy foods, and a tiny futon. Hiroshi looked a little sad.
ま、こんなもんだろ。
Hiroshi only let the sentiment get the better of him for a moment before shaking it off. We finished the job in about 30 minutes. What? So we didn't actually clean all this though, right? We were just looking for important stuff. I mean, that's someone else's job to clean that. Hiroshi took a deep breath when he left the apartment. He was worn out from working in that filthy room. Good job, Hiroshi.
悪い。ちょっと手だけ洗わせて。
いいよ。
Hiroshi and I went into my apartment.
ただいま。
Alright, let's jump him in here. You came into my apartment. You know what that means, Hiroshi. You know what that means. I called out to Zombie as we entered the room. I left the AC on, so it was quite cool inside.
ああ、天国。
Hiroshi washed his hands, enjoying the cool, fresh air. I spoke to Hiroshi as I rummaged through the fridge next to him.
なんか飲む？喉乾いたでしょ。
ああ。
Hiroshi gave me a look like totally after he washed his hands. He looked over my shoulder into the refrigerator.
ジュースしかないのな。
うん。
There's nothing in there but sports drinks, vegetable juice, and fruit juice.
家でご飯食べないからね。
じゃあ、これ。
Hiroshi selected a sports drink.
はい、どうぞ。
サンキュー。
I like how they had to translate it as gracias. Because he's Japanese, but he said thank you in English. It's like, you gotta translate it as gracias, so it comes across. So, if that's the proper way, I don't know. That's weird. Hiroshi thanked me as he took the bottle and unscrewed the cap.
座って飲めば？ゾンビ見る？
おう。
Hiroshi answered, mumbling a bit. Yes, I know you're trying to act all serious, but you really want to play with the cat. That's so cute. We moved farther into my apartment, and Hiroshi looked surprised.
何にもないのな。
いつ出てくことになるかわからないからね。
まあ、そっか。
Hiroshi made a weird face at my answer. Like he hoped that that wouldn't have to happen, but like, he knows it'd be a good thing if my memory came back. Something like that. Hiroshi's so easy to read. Hiroshi woke up from sleeping on the bed. The two of us sat up on the bed though. I guess it's just a mattress. And played with Zombie.
へえ、だいぶマシな顔になったな。
Hiroshi petted Zombie with half-closed eyes.
よかったな、ゾンビ。
お前な、ゾンビはないだろう。
What's your deal? Can't he just name his cat Zombie?
確かにゾンビって感じじゃなくなっちゃったね。じゃあ、眉毛。
なんで眉毛？
Girl, are you the one taking care of this cat? Who are you to tell me what to name it? It's nothing profound, okay?
なんとなく。
まあ、ゾンビよりはマシか。
Hiroshi seemed to agree as he continued to play with Eyebrows, the cat formerly known as Zombie. But he's so defenseless now. Doesn't he realize we're all alone right now? Exactly. Has he already forgotten? Or is he trying to act like it's not bugging him? He doesn't really have the personality for that. I'm just going to do a little test.
ヒロシ。
何？っておい！
I saw an opening and pushed him onto the mattress.
お前！
You knew what was gonna happen. You literally need to stop hanging out with a big R person who does big R. His face went bright and red in an instant, and it wasn't just his face. I could feel Hiroshi's whole body burning up. He really does realize, after all, he's much more mature than I thought. Now I know he was pretending to have forgotten. But what does Hiroshi want to do? Does he want to pretend it never happened, or... I could smell the sweat coming off Hiroshi's warm body. Ew. The smell was turning me on. I want to have sex with him.
こういうことするなっつってんだろ。
Hiroshi said softly, averting his gaze. He seemed less angry and more vulnerable, but he wasn't begging so much as scolding me. I don't really get it.
俺のせいにしようとしてない？
Hiroshi looked back at me. I could see my face reflected in his eyes. I was smiling, but my eyes had a certain sharpness to them.
俺に無理やりやらせといて、
How can you
自分は悪くないとか、ホモじゃないとか、そういう流れに持ってこうとしてない？
Yeah, kind of. But how can you see your eyes in his eyes? That's a little bit... Can you see that? I don't think you can. That's like a little bit too small to see. But anyway, what did he say? You know, like we can... Yeah, I feel like that's what Hiroshi wants. And someone else in the comment section was like, Hiroshi's shirt is probably just a meta joke because it's not like they can read English apparently. Which I think is kind of stupid, but...
そんなわけあるか！
Oh, he's mad for real.
そっか。ごめんね。
That's right, Hiroshi's so earnest you could slap a really effing onto the world. Wait, what? That's right, Hiroshi's so earnest you could slap a really effing onto the world? Of course he wouldn't want to do... I don't know what that means. I apologize and let Hiroshi go. Wow, he didn't big arm. Hiroshi was visibly relieved as he sat up. He grabbed his knees a bit. Did he get a boner? I won't bug him about it.
マジで俺、こういうの免疫ないから、やめてくれよな。
He muttered sulkily. Haha, he's so honest.
でもヒロシって普通にモテそうじゃない？なんで童貞なの？女の子と付き合ったこともないの？
まあ、うん。学生の頃は裏のある怖い女が多くて、告られても遠慮したかったっていうか。
So gay. Hiroshi started fidgeting nervously, his eyes wandering.
それに、なんか半端な気持ちで付き合ったりやったりしたくないっていうか。
Yeah, that's code for gay.
そっか。
How like him?
つうかお前さ、なんか性格変わってね。
ん？そ
目がマジっつうか。
う？ああ、ほら、変なスイッチ入ったから、こないだ。
Whenever he gets horny, he turns into a serious person. It's just how it works. A serious big R person. Also, Hiroshi's just so cute. It kind of makes me want to tease him.
なんだそりゃ。切っとけよ。
あ
Oh, I think I get it. Hiroshi wants to trust me. He wants to believe that if he talks it out with me, I won't jump on him again. That's why he let me be alone with him.
わかった。頑張る。
おう。
He still seems dubious as he started playing with eyebrows again. It seemed less like he didn't believe what I said and more like he was trying to hide his embarrassment. A little while later, Hiroshi left. Hiroshi looked to the letters and the computer with him. No, he took the letters and computer with him. I think he was going to check them at home. We just parted normally. I didn't try anything. Bye-bye, Hiroshi. I'll see you tomorrow. I was promised by someone that once the scenes, you get the first, naughty scene in this game, they just keep on rolling. Real quick, lightning speed. Just a lot of them all in a row, and promises are not being delivered. That's what a friend of mine told me, but I don't see it. I don't see it, and I want to make fun of more naughty scenes.
おはようございます。
I did the cleaning and got changed in the office when Ryu showed up.
秋山、
はい。
Hiroshi looked up from whatever work he was doing.
これを。
Ryu passed Hiroshi some kind of documents in an envelope. Hiroshi took it and inspected its contents. I looked over at it from next to
これっ
him.
て
何これ？
戸籍謄本だ。あの女の子の家族構成が載ってる。
へえ。
まだ母親探しのことも何も言ってないのに。
Hiroshi mumbled. Now that he mentioned it, I think he's right. Basically, Ryu wasn't there when Pops gave Hiroshi the key. So I guess he must have anticipated that this would happen.
こういうの取るのすごい面倒なんだよ。
そうなの？
ああ、正当な方法じゃ簡単には取れない。だからいろいろ手を回す必要があって。
Hiroshi glanced over at Ryu sitting in front of the office computer.
そりゃリュウさんにとっては大した手間じゃないかもだけど。
Hiroshi turned to Ryu.
すみません。ありがとうございます。
仕事だ。
Ryu completely ignored Hiroshi's apology. It didn't seem like he was just brushing him off, but more like he really did just consider it part of his job. The strategy meetings started in the office. Even Ranran was here. We had a full complement. What does that mean? Hiroshi explained what happened, then told everyone about what we found in the apartment yesterday.
ヒロシ、眠そ
昨日部屋から持ち帰ったのを徹夜でチェックしたからな。
仕事に支障をきたすな。
はい、すみません。
Ryu scolded him a bit and Hiroshi apologized. Yeah, I
報告
know.
の続きを。
You don't need to narrate things that just happened. What? We saw it happen. I don't... That's so weird.
はい。
What is wrong with the writing in this game? Hiroshi reported on his findings with regard to the stuff Pops gave him yesterday. The stuff we found in the apartment and new information from the family register. Like, I don't need a summary for what happened one line ago. What? It's like something happens and then a narrated summary of what just happened. What? I was there, boo. It happened. It just happened. Why are you summarizing it?
まず戸籍にゆふみちゃんの登録はありますが、飛着出子であり、父親の名前や結婚歴はありません。戸籍の符表を見ると、母親とゆふみちゃんは住所が別ですね。
でも、チビ隣にいたよ。
多分おばあさんと住んでたんだな。で、その母親の母親、ゆふみちゃんのおばあさんなんだけど、どうも入院してるみたいです。で、母親の方に戻りますが、日記やその他いろいろから見るに、ソープ嬢になる前は一般企業に勤めていたみたいです。IT 系の中小企業で事務員をしていたっぽいですね。通帳の履歴を見た感じだと、多分3年前まで。で、その会社を辞めてから一 引っ越ししたみたいです。日記やパソコンのブラウザから見れたブログに書いてあったんですが、ゆふみちゃんは多分不倫の子ですね。
Ooh, she's the hoe of a little hoe.
父親の正体は不明ですが、多分太子が元いた会社の人間ではないかと。それらしき名前とイニシャルは見つけました。以上です。
わかった。次は裏付けと調査だな。
Ryu took control and delegated jobs.
ソープはマキさん。
What the heck is Soapland?
太子がソープ以前に勤めていた会社には秋山。祖母の方には俺が行く。
俺は
お前はあまりだ。休んでいろ。
I want to go with Hiroshi.
俺、ヒロシと行く。
Wait, what would happen if I tried going with other people whenever I have the option to? Could I, like, fool around with them too, eventually? What would happen if I did that? I don't even know if that's possible, but I don't know. Seems weird to go with someone else when I'm on Hiroshi's route, I think.
俺
Oh my god, why? You gotta be so surprised, dude. We've been coming on to you for ages. Weeks now. You let out a frustrated sigh. Maki-chan was expressionless as always. Ren didn't seem to want to get involved.
いいんですか？
Ryu nodded in response to Hiroshi's question, giving his permission like he had already resigned to the situation.
よろしく。
仕方ないな。
No, don't act so disappointed. Hiroshi didn't look as disappointed as he sounded. He looked very, well, okay.
そういや、レンレンは
Ren didn't get an assignment.
望月はしばらく店担当だ。
一応治ったとはいえ、怪我したしな。
なるほど。
Ren was quiet, but he looked dubious. He didn't seem particularly fond of our unofficial work, but he did seem a little annoyed to be the only one left out. Hee hee hee.
以上だ。
The meeting disbanded on that note from you. After the strategy meeting, Hiroshi apologized to everyone and thanked us for what we'd be doing next. After that, he took his cell phone into the storeroom. He's probably looking into the man Squirt's mom had an affair with. Hiroshi's so earnest. Tomorrow's Sunday, and that's when we're investigating. I've got to work hard too. God, no days off in this bar, is there? The next day, Hiroshi and I were on our way to the coffee shop to meet with the person Squirt's mom was having an affair with. Hiroshi had already identified him.
どうやって特定したの？
ああ、日記や手帳のスケジュールを読んで、元いた会社に電話をかけて特定した。
へえ。
不倫相手っていうか、恋人らしき男は、王とか治って書かれてたんだ。その他に、5、6年前に OA ってイニシャルもよくあったから、適当に「あ」のつく名前で会社に電話をかけて正しい名前を聞き出した。
I don't understand. So, this dumb hoe, and by dumb hoe I mean the big hoe, little hoe's mother, big hoe. Big hoe went ahead and just detailed out her adulterous ways in her diary. Just why you be doing that?
へえ。どうやって？
ああ。浅野治さんいますか？
弊社には浅野という社員はおりませんが。
ああ、浅田さんだったかな。ちょっと待ってください。今名刺を。どこだったかな。浅井くん、俺の名刺入れどこやった？
間でしたらおりますが。
ああ、相田さん。そうだ、相田治さんだ。今いらっしゃいますか？って感じな。
すごい、プロみたい。
みたいじゃなくて、プロなんだよ。
He answered breezily, not particularly bashful, but not haughtily either. Yeah, this is one of the things that makes Hiroshi so cool.
最近はガードの固い会社が増えて通じない場合もあるけど、小さい会社は割といけることが多い。
へえ。
ちゃんとやり方を覚えておけよ。お前もやるかもしれないんだから。
テクニックの伝授的な？
そうそう。
I see, so that's why he explained it so much in detail. Hiroshi is so diligent.
で、相手から連絡が来たんだ。
ああ、間は気の小さい男だったみたいで、俺が斎藤って名乗って、お子さんの件でお話があるって伝言を残したら、すぐに連絡をくれたから会う約束を取り付けた。多分不倫相手で間違いないだろう。5年前じゃ辞めてる可能性もあったけど、引っかかったみたいでよかった。
We arrived at the tiny coffee shop we'd be meeting him at while we were talking. It didn't really feel like much of a cafe. It was more of an old and not particularly popular coffee shop.
行くぞ。
え
Does he know he's meeting two dudes here? Not his sexy big hoe. We went to the coffee shop and waited a bit. He showed up almost immediately. Ida was extremely typical looking middle-aged office worker.
君たちなの
He seemed like he'd been a little nervous about coming, but when he saw that we were just two young men, he seemed disappointed or something. He was blatantly dismissive and suspicious of us. But it didn't bother Hiroshi. He just handed Ida his business card and it was one from Pop's company.
私、乾探偵事務所の秋山と申します。突然ぶしつけなご連絡を差し上げて失礼いたしました。
He looked at the business card and arrogantly pointed at me with his chin.
そっちは
助手の春山です。まだ日が浅いもので名刺がないんです。
Hiroshi casually used an alias for me. Just using a first name would look pretty suspicious after all. I obediently bowed my head. Hiroshi's being super cool, so I'm gonna be quiet so I don't get in our way. If I open my mouth, I'll blow our cover, no doubt about that.
秋山に春山ね
Is there some kind of issue? He snorted, but Hiroshi was unfazed.
ああ、そうですね。ご心配でしたら名刺の番号にご確認ください。
まあいいよそれで探偵さんが何の用
He's quite on the high horse. He was making a point of conveying his wariness of us, almost as if he were saying,
はい。実は
oops. Well, almost as if he were saying he's not going to be tricked by dumb kids. Oops. I keep skipping shit. Hiroshi spoke fairly, honestly, and sincerely. He told him that Taiga Saito left Yufumi behind and disappeared, and that we were hired by the apartment's landlord to find Taiko, so we wanted to know if he had any idea where she might be.
ああそう
Ida seemed to relax a bit. He's probably relieved that we're not making any threats about Squirt or demanding child support. Oh, but then he frowned a bit. His cautious, vigilant attitude melted away and he started talking to Hiroshi.
ああそうだな妙子とは5年前に別れて以来個人的には会ってないよ3年前に会社を辞めてからは顔を合わせることもなくなったしなゆふみの件は堕胎費と慰謝料を支払った時点で話がついているから俺に責任はない
He said, settling some kind of document on the table.
妙子の実印と母印入りの誓約書だここに書いてあるだろう責任を問いませんって俺は何も知らないし一切関係ないだからこれ以上俺につきまとったり会社におかしな連絡を入れるようなら弁護士を立てる
ゆふみちゃんはひどく痩せてて栄養失調状態で服もずっと着替えてなくてこの猛暑に冷房もない部屋でずっと放置されてたんです
Hiroshi's voice was calm.
このまま母親が行方不明のままですと施設に預けざるを得ない状況になります
やっぱりそういう話か
Ida stood up angrily. Hiroshi was surprised by this sudden, excessive reaction. Ida sat back down, but he continued to glare at
ゆ
Hiroshi.
ふみを引き取るつもりは一切ない絶対にありえない俺には嫁も子供もいて幸せなんだ
Do happy people cheat on their spouses and get other women pregnant? I had to suppress my desire to laugh.
だいたいあの女は殺したなんて嘘をついて子供を産んで俺を陥れようとしたんだ責任は果たした関係はもうない終わったことをいつまでも引っ張られてこっちは本当に迷惑してるんだよ
What a disgusting conversation. It's like something out of a soap opera. Hiroshi seems less angry and more
わ
hurt.
かりましたすみません差し出がましいことを言いました
He bowed his
また
head.
何かありましたらご連絡を差し上げるかもしれませんが、
もう二度と連絡しないでくれ。
ご迷惑をおかけするようなことはしません。
He was useless. Hiroshi bowed his head and picked up the check. He paid for all our drinks at the register and we left the shop. Damn, better pay for our drinks. We walked in silence for a little while after we left.
ヒロシ、かっこよかったよ。
そうか。サンキュー。
Hiroshi said a little bashfully before becoming absorbed in thoughts again. We walked for a while without speaking again. After he put some distance between us and the coffee shop, Hiroshi finally opened his mouth.
なんかへこむな。
大丈夫？
Hiroshi thought for a second.
飯食わね。腹減ったわ。
じゃあ俺、ヒロシの手料理が食べたい。
は？なんで俺が？
Naturally, Hiroshi didn't respond too well to my abrupt proposal, but that didn't bother me.
お母さんっぽい料理がいいな。
勝手に話進めんなよ。つうか、そういう料理ならリュウさんに頼め。
So Ryu then?
リュウの料理はお母さんっぽいの？
Hiroshi nodded.
かなり。洋風っつうか、パスタとか出てくんのかなって思ってたら、マジで日本のお母さんって感じだったし。
That's surprising. No, actually, maybe it fits perfectly.
昔俺がヘマして、リュウさんの部屋に泊まった時にさ。ほら、この間のお前みたいに、ちょっとやばいことになって。
うん。
飯も食わせてくれたんだけど、なんかすごかった。
Oh ho.
煮物とか漬物とか、知らない野菜とかたらふく食わされたし。俺まだ店に入ったばっかですっげえ緊張したけど。
へえ。
So Ryu cooks. Sounds nice.
リ
However,
ュウが俺に手料理食べさせてくれるとか、絶対なさそうな気がする。
I groaned with a dejected look on my face.
まあなんだかんだで優しいっつうか面倒見のいい人だから。絶対ってことはないだろうけど。
Hiroshi looked over at me.
お前もおとなしくしてりゃいいのに。
無理です。
Not everyone has the same abilities, you know.
たく。
Hiroshi smiled a little frustrated.
んじゃ、俺んちで食うか？
Hot.
やったー。買い物する？
まあ、そうだな。帰ってスーパー寄ってだな。
よし、俺あのカゴを押す係ね。
ガキか。
Hiroshi smiled at my excitement. So is this the moment we're gonna go ahead and just ignore his pleas for us to
ごち
stop?
そうさまでした。
うん。
はあ、お腹いっぱい。
Hiroshi got up and cleared the table. Oh, I'll help too. I got up and collected the remaining tableware. Since Hiroshi paid for the ingredients, next time I'm going to treat him. The lunch Hiroshi made was cold soba. The bowl was filled with lots of ice-cold noodles and chopped up cucumbers and chicken and pickled shisha leaves and ginger, I think. And then there was a sauté of greens and mushrooms to put as much as you like, as you liked on the noodles. And then you put some of the ginger broth on it and eat it. It was delicious. I'm in such a good mood now.
あれがヒロシのお母さんっぽいご飯？
I said, sitting down on the sofa after I returned from the kitchen to refill my glass of barley tea. I feel like... Not really. Based on what he's told us about his childhood. Roshi was sitting on his bed.
いや、じいちゃんが作ってくれたんだ。俺、母親いないし。
You did have a mom. She was just kind of a capital B, right?
うん。そっか。
Thought he had a mom.
あ、鶴紫を炒めたのはリュウさんが教えてくれたやつ。うまかったろ？
Spinach stir fry. Oh, those leafy things? They were stirred fried with the mushrooms and sesame oil and soy sauce. It was definitely delicious. I'm satisfied. I guess you could say this was bliss.
はあ、食った。
Hiroshi stretched and lay back on the bed.
ありがとな。
元気になった？
うん。割と。
Hiroshi looked up at the ceiling as he lay on the bed.
五十嵐の兄貴といい。 似てる人間っているもんだな。つうか、みんなそれぞれ大変ってことか。
ん
Hiroshi sat up.
この間、お前にも聞こえてただろうけど、俺も不倫の子でさ。親父は大学病院の部長で、おふくろは若いだけが取り柄の看護師だって。親父の方は完全に遊びだったんだけど、おふくろは多分玉残しとか狙ってたんだろうな。なんとか俺を妊娠して下ろせって言われて、下ろしたふりして隠して無理やり俺を産んで。
Sounds kind of like what happened with the little hoe.
自分と結婚するか、そうでなきゃ慰謝料と養育費払えって親父に迫ったんだけど、親父も義理の母さんも普通じゃないっつうか。まあ最終的におふくろははした金だけつかまされて、二度と親父にも俺にも近づかないって誓約書書いて、俺は親父に引き取られたんだけど。
A contract. Just like the one that man had with him today.
でもそれって義理の母さんから聞いた話でさ。だからどっかで思ってたんだよな。もしかしたら母さんの言ってることは嘘かもしれない。なんかあるたびについ考えちゃって、そのはっきりしない感じがずっと嫌で。いや、俺の母親のことはどうでもいいんだけど、あの子の母親の日記とかブログとか読んでてもさ、子供のこと全然書いてないんだよ。で、今日のあれだろ。
うん。
なんかあの子の母親がどんな人間でも、理由も行き先もわからないで消えちまって、あの子がずっと引きずるより、
Hiroshi looked
た
down.
とえあの子が捨てられたんだとしても、はっきりしてた方がいいって思ったんだ。でもよく考えたら、俺は母親が金のために自分を産んだって知ってたら、思い知ってたら、つうかあの子のためじゃなくて自分のために母親探ししてんじゃねえのかとか、いろいろ考えちゃって、またわけわかんなくなってきた。
May I offer you some non-con in these trying times? Or at least dub-con?
ヒロシ、
ごめん、めんどくせえ話して。
いや、そうじゃなくて。
Hiroshi looked up and I kissed him. Hiroshi's guard was down, so it didn't take much to push him onto the bed. I got on top of his knees, holding him down.
おい、またかよ。
I know, right? Yep, this again, of course. All I can say is that Hiroshi probably is overthinking all sorts of things, and he's also really adorable. And this is the only thing I can think of to do in this kind of situation.
おま、
I started feeling him up. Hiroshi's body reacted immediately.
待ってって。
He seemed to be holding back from pushing me off him. I think it was probably less that he really wanted to do it and more out of concern that he'd hurt me because of the table and glass behind me. I think that sweet side of him is adorable. I think I might really like Hiroshi. I was getting aroused from Hiroshi's reactions. I could feel myself getting hard and heat filling the area. I'll stop if he really wants to, but if he doesn't, then I think it's better if he can just blame me. It just happened because I wanted to do it. I just want to force Hiroshi. But I don't mind doing things that way.
Haru.
Hiroshi called my name. His voice was serious.
Haru. やめろ。
Gay.
わかった。
It's unfortunate, but I don't have any choice. I got off him, and I meant gay not as in homosexual, but more like lame. It kind of felt like ripping off a piece of tape that had been stuck somewhere you couldn't see. We both took a breath. Both Hiroshi and I were totally hard. Hero, stop denying your latent gay tendencies. I sat next to him and looked up at the
ご
ceiling.
めんね。
I announced softly. He wants it. Hiroshi took a deep breath and then let out a long sigh. It sounded like he'd emptied his lungs completely. He completely finished exhaling. Oh, is he... Hiroshi grabbed my neck. Oh, maybe he's gonna hit me. Maybe I really made him mad. I got Hiroshi to make me food and we were having a serious talk and now it's all ruined. I didn't know what happened for a moment. No way. I realized that all of a sudden Hiroshi kissed me. It was just a peck, but a kiss is a kiss. I thought he grabbed my neck so he could hit me, but right now he's kissing me. He pulled his lips away. Hiroshi gazed at me from a close distance. We locked eyes and Hiroshi opened his mouth.
やりたい
Gay, this time that just means homosexual. He said clearly, then averted his eyes. Oh, I misunderstood. Hiroshi isn't the type to let things end on a vague note. Hiroshi explicitly said he wanted to do it too. He wants to make it clear that he's not just going along with it, that it's not all my fault. I was going to ask if he was sure, but I stopped. And if I ask Hiroshi, he has to answer. If he just said yeah, I'd feel bad, and if he said he wanted to stop, that'd be annoying after all. So I decided not to ask. Alright guys, so the scene has officially started, but I'm gonna go ahead and end the episode here because it's been going on for a long time, so when we come back next time, we're starting with the scene. Yeah, so I'll see you guys in the next episode where we destroy Hiroshi finally. We completely and utterly massacre him. Bye guys.